Hi everybody. So today we are going to do a mat class and we are going to focus predominantly on abs and stretch. We'll start with the fun stuff, the hard stuff, the abs. We will get that out of the way, and then we will wrap everything up with a nice good stretch. I feel like lately a lot of us have been doing a lot more walking or a lot more running and forward movement than we're used to, than our bodies are used to, or you're just sitting at a desk or not even a desk, a kitchen table, some awkward space. So I want to make sure our core is nice and engaged and we get that warmed up and feeling good. And then we can kind of stretch everything out that probably feels a little tight and kinky. So we're going to start nice and tall on our sits bones. Our knees are bent and our feet are flat. Feet can be, I don't know, hip-ish distance apart. You are going to start with roll downs. We're going to start with gradual roll downs. So what that means is shoulders are back. We're going to scoop, tuck, and roll down 1/4 of the way. Take a quick inhale, exhale, and roll back tall. We'll go halfway down now. So scoop, tuck, and roll halfway and roll forward and tall. 3/4 of the way this time. Scoop, tuck, roll 3/4 of the way down and back up. And then we are going to scoop, tuck, and roll all the way down to the mat. Circle those arms around, and if you need to use the back of your leg, you can. Roll nice and tall. So again, arms are out, back out. We'll do 1/4 of the way down. Scoop, tuck, roll 1/4. And tall. And half. And tall. 3/4. And back up. And all the way down. And back up tall. I gotta close my eyes, it's really bright, which feels actually kind of nice. But we're back to 1/4 down and back up and half and back up and 3/4 and back up. And one more time. We're going to go all the way down, warming up that spine. Remember, we can always pull on the back of the legs to get ourselves nice and tall. That was 3 times. We're going for 6. So we're scooping 1/4 and back up and halfway and back up. 3/4 of the way. Exhale, back up, watch those shoulders, and all the way down, and back to start. You are going to go 1/4 of the way, and again, halfway, and 3/4 of the way. That's the hardest one, for me at least, and all the way down, and we can start here and pull up tall, or we can keep the arms out the whole time. So the last time through, we're going halfway. We're gonna go 3/4 of the way and tall. Remember, this is not about how fast you go. It's about keeping that movement. Shoulders back through your spine. All the way down last time. Nice and slow. Circle back to the start. Use your exhale and hit the top. Now we're going to actually roll all the way down and freeze here. Bring your hands down to the mat and your legs are going to go up into a tabletop position. I'm just checking to make sure my legs are in there. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is we're going to just dip 1 foot down to the well, march it down, and then another. And again, we're alternating feet. marching down into the well. So you're starting in tabletop and you're dipping those toes towards the well, but you're doing so from the hip. Your abs are in tight, and if you need to have your back pressed into the mat, you can. We may be doing one more extra. This might be 7, should be 6, but here we go. We're going to do both now. Dip down and back up. You don't have to go all the way down. You can see on me that this is a lot harder than one at a time. And you can curl up just like I did if you want, or you can keep those head, neck, and chest down. We have one more. Dip both and back up to tabletop. Now you're going to curl up. If you curl up, those hands are reaching down and forward, and you know what? They're going to lightly pulse because we're going to go into hundreds. So you're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. 2 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. 3 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. 4 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. 5 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. You can always change the position of your legs. This is the traditional position. You can go up and exhale, and 7 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale, and 8 in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. You can go back to regular and exhale, tabletop or not, and inhale and exhale, and one more time in, 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale and freeze. I'm going to lower my head, neck, and chest, but I'm going to keep my legs just like this, and both are going to go straight out and pull back in. If I want to make this a little more challenging on the abs, I will continue to curl up through the head, neck, and chest. The higher I kick my legs, the easier this is on my low back. I've got 3 more. I've got 2 more. I've got 1 more reach, and then I'm going to add an open and close of the legs when I reach out. So both legs are kicking out, open, close, and tabletop. Again, you can lower the head, neck, and chest and do all of this from there. You can also make sure you've got that tail tucked just a little bit to press your low back into the mat if you need it. We've got 1 more. Reach, open, close, tabletop. Now, one leg goes in, the other goes out. These are single leg kicks, and you're going to switch so that one knee comes towards the chest and the other reaches really long. You're squeezing that knee in towards your chest, and you're switching and switching. Again, you can lower the head, neck, and chest or keep it up. We're going to do 2, 2, 1, 1. Both knees in, and just hug those knees in. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders, and swing your knees from side to side. You can drop your knees down to one side and turn in the opposite direction. Turn your head in the opposite direction. And then switch those knees over and turn your head into the other opposite direction. So now where we are going to go from here is we are actually going to roll up into an all fours position. So I'm actually going to flip around because my notebook is over here. And if you know me, you know I have a real knack for getting lost in what I'm supposed to be doing. So anyway, we're going to have those shoulders, elbows, wrists all in line, and knees and hips all in line. We're going to really engage thoughts through the middle, and you're going to raise your left arm and your right leg. You're going to just hold this for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then bring your knee to your elbow. So left knee to right elbow, and then reach really long. And again, knee to elbow, and reach, and connect, and reach. This is 3, we're going for 6. And reach. This is 5, and reach. Try to keep those shoulders over the wrists, and reach, freeze. You're going to circle a tiny circle of your hands and your feet 6 times in one direction and freeze, and then the other direction and freeze. And honestly, this kind of makes my head spin because my hands and feet don't want to circle in the same way, but they did in both directions. Bring that left hand back down, and you're going to tuck your left toes under and just hold in a bear, single leg bear hold for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Come down, and let's swing that right leg around and come up on the left knee. We're going to just be up on this knee for a hot second because you're going to tip over like a teapot into this side kneeling position. You want to think about having your hips pointing forward, your, again, shoulder, elbow, wrist all in line, and you're really thinking about engaging through the underside of the body, and you're nice and tight through the top side as well. This top leg is going to point and kick forward, flex and kick back. Keeping that hip straight, you're pointing and flexing. Pointing forward and flexing back. Pointing forward and flexing back. Pointing forward, watch those shoulders, and flexing back. We've got 2 more, point and flex. 1 more, point and flex. Now point straight out and just lift and lower for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Now we're going to come up to our knees just for a second, bring those legs together and sit back down so that we are in a side line position so that we can get into a side plank. So I want your forearm down, your elbow's going to be underneath your shoulder, and both feet are going to be together. You could also stack your feet, but I'm gonna go both feet together for this one. Your left arm is down. You're going to press into those feet and find that side plank. You're just gonna hold this for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and we're gonna go to hip dips for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and 1 big stretch over, and come back up. We are going to do everything we just did on the other side. So we're gonna go back to all 4s and start at the beginning of this whole shebang. So knees under hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. This time our right leg is kicked out. No, excuse me, left leg and right arm. Hips are square. We are going to just hold here for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then connect knee to elbow and reach. Slowly connect knee to elbow and reach. Make sure you square those hips up as you reach. It's really hard. Usually the leg, hip of the leg that is kicking out wants to kind of go crazy, as you can see on me, but we're trying our hardest. And we've got 1 more, and reach and hold. Now we're going to do these little circles in one direction. This is 4, 5, 6, and reverse circle, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna make sure my hips are squared up, which they were not. Tuck my right toe under and bear hold for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and down. Swing over, adjust my pants, and tip over like that teapot onto, this time, my right hand, and left leg is going to be reaching out. I'm trying to kind of line myself up on this screen. So my hips are theoretically stacked, shoulders are out of the ears. I'm going to point and reach that leg forward and flex and kick back. And 5, point and reach, flex, 4 and reach, 3 and reach, 2 and reach, 1 and reach. Hold here, make sure we're nice and tight, point those toes, and we're going up and down, 4. Now we've got 4 more. We were going for 6 total. 2, 1. Bring that down. Scooch down to our side, all the way down. Forearm is down for this side plank. Remember, your feet can be stacked or split. You can also do a plank from your knees if you want, or you can go full up for a side plank. We're holding for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, hip dip, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and big reach over and come down. We are going to find this all fours position just for a hot second. Kick out both feet, and what do you know? We found a full plank. We're holding this for 6, for 5. Remember, you could always be on your knees, for 2, for 1, and we're going to go down to a push-up. We're going to go really slow. We're going to go about a quarter of the way down and freeze, and halfway and freeze, and 3/4 of the way and freeze, and come all the way down to the ground. I'm going to scooch down on my mat and bring my hands to a goalpost position. So my forehead is going to be on my mat. My hands are in goalposts and my legs are long behind me. I'm going to actually tuck my tail just a little bit and press my pubic bone into the mat. And I'm going to press into these goalpost hands and just lift up into a little baby swan and lower back down. My abs are pulled in tight, and I'm going to lift and lower. So ideally, I'm inhaling as I lift and exhaling as I lower, and I'm trying to kind of counteract all of that forward hunching that I've been doing over my phone, over my computer, over my desk, whatever that may be. I've got one more of these little baby swans. And then I'm going to reach both arms and both legs long. Keep that tail tucked just a little to press that pubic bone in. Abs are in tight. Lift left arm, right leg, and switch right arm, left leg. And switch and switch. We've got 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, and bring it all down. We're going to actually roll over gracefully, of course, to our backs. We're going to have our feet flat on the mat. We're going to have our hands pressing into the mat. And we're going to bridge. Everyone's favorite actually is one of my favorites. But we're going to do a slow bridge up. So you're going to scoop, tuck, and roll yourself into bridge. We're going to bridge just to the base of our shoulder blades. We're not going to go way high up. We're going to just go in this nice holdable position. Both of our feet are down right now. But what I want you to do, really engage through the middle. Give that booty a squeeze if you need to. And I want you to lift your right leg straight out. You're going to also lift your left arm straight up. You're going to lower and lift both at the same time, and back to start. Lower and lift, trying to keep your hips square, really squeezing on the grounded side. So in this case, the right arm's pressing into the mat, the left foot is pressing into the mat. We've got 2 more, and back, and 1 more, and back. Bend that knee, put that foot down, put the hand down, and let's actually roll all the way down to reset ourselves. So find an inhale, exhale, scoop, tuck, roll up, really engage through that right side this time, and kick that left leg straight out. Right arm is going to go up. You're going to lower and lift right arm and left leg, trying to keep the hips square. You could always hold your opposite hand underneath your booty to make sure everything is going as it should, or you could just do the legs or just the arm part of this. Put it down and roll straight down through the spine. Try not to go side to side, even though I'm sure that's what we all want to do. Now, from here, we are going to bring those legs straight out. So I'm going to get myself a little more on the mat, flex my feet up, bring my hands in front of my chest, and I'm going to just slowly, pressing my feet into the mat, roll up and roll over, and just take a nice, pretty little stretch. While you're holding that stretch, I'm going to consult my little book and remind myself we've got one more quick little thing in this ab section, and then we're going to go to more stretchy stuff. So I told you it's abs, 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 and then stretch, stretch, stretch. So circle those hands behind your shoulders, so just like this, circling back, and point your fingers away from you. So you're the inside of your forearm is going to be facing your body. This is a reverse plank we're getting ready to do, and your feet are going to be flexed. You're sitting as tall as you can on those sits bones, and you are going to press into those heels and press those hips up, and you're just going to hold this position. Think wide, beautiful thoughts through your shoulders, and in a second, we're going to lift the right leg, keeping those hips stable, and then the left, and put it down. Right and left. Right. Try to push into those hands, push into those heels. Keep those hips as steady as you can. Try not to cave in. You can keep those feet flexed or pointed. We're going to do 2 more on each side. And 1 more. My booty is falling. Try not to do that. Slowly bring it down. And just forward fold for a hot second. And hold that little stretch. Now, we're going to keep this position where we are. And let's give our legs a little bit of space. So I'm going to scooch back again. And I'm going to bring my legs kind of in, not a huge all the way out V, but a V position. I'm going to sit as high as I can. I have really tight hamstrings, so my legs have a really hard time staying straight if I want to sit up on my sits bones. So you might need to be a little bent through the knees. That's okay. Or you can keep the legs as straight as you can. All we're going to do right now is just fold forward and reach, and then roll back up tall. So I want you to reach forward and then roll back, kind of like you're reaching over a big, huge ball. We've got 3 more. Reach forward and roll. So you're kind of undulating through that top part of your spine. 2 more. Reach and roll tall. One more, reach and roll tall. Now, my hands are going to come out to the side. I'm going to give my feet a little bit more space. You are going to keep your feet as grounded as you can, your legs as grounded as you can, and you're going to twist towards the right twice and come back to center, and then to the left twice and come back to center. As you're twisting, I want you to think about your body kind of swiveling around a center point. So you want to keep your hips square and pointing forward, and you're really just moving through the chest and the waist. We've got 2 more on each side. I'm trying to reset my shoulders each time, but you know how that goes. 1 more, and back to center, and left, and back to center. Now, I'm going to twist and reach this time towards my foot as I twist and come up and back to center. So my right hand, as I twist to the left, is going to reach towards my left foot, and everything's going to come up and back to center. Left hand to right foot, and up and back to center. And switch, and up and back to center. Again, reach, and then tall, and then reach, and then tall. This is sort of a variation of saw as you're reaching and twisting. We've got 2 more, and tall, and reach, and tall, and 1 more, and tall, and 1 more, and tall. Let's bring a bend to those knees and give those hips a break just for a second. So bring the bottoms of your feet together, bring your, keep those knees kind of in a wide position. It'd almost be like happy baby. And what I want you to do is grab hold, have your hands grab hold of your feet. I want you to think really tall thoughts on those sits bones. And if you can, you're going to just try to open one side of your body out, pull it back to center, try to stay tall, and open the other side. I'm real shaky. We can tell when our bodies are just tight and they need a little extra love. And I think all of us are probably feeling that right about now. We're cooped up. We're probably doing a bunch of running or walking or like 100 exercise videos a day. We're still alternating which side is coming up and switching. Let's say this is 4, we're going for 6. 6 seems to be the magic number today. I'm trying not to tip back as I lift my feet up and reach. So you're pulling and pressing. You're pulling with your hand and pressing with your foot. And we've got, I don't know, 1 more on each side. And tall, and reach, and tall. Perfect. Now, the next thing we're going to do is called rolling like a ball. Now, it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. Although it might be a little intimidating because I'm on really hard cement under here, but we're gonna see how it goes. So rolling like a ball, the main thing you need to worry about is keeping your body tight like a ball. So as you can see, you're hugging your knees in towards your chest as tight as you possibly can. Knees are in, your hands are wrapped around your shins, and you're going to lift up onto your sits bones so your feet are off the ground. You might have to kind of tip back just a little bit, but this is your top balance point. Now what's going to happen, and the key here, is you're always going to have your chin tucked in towards your chest and down, because if you don't, your head's going to be back and you're going to smack your head and it's just not going to be your day. So that'd be horrible and you don't want to do that. So remember, your chin's always going to stay tucked. You're going to be really tall on your sits bones to start, and just like starting a bridge or a roll down, you're going to tip off your sits bones. We're going to see how this goes, and just roll back and roll forward. Now, that looked really easy. I kind of cheated by moving my feet, but we're gonna try it again. And we're gonna see how if we really scoop through the belly and roll, hold that scoop and come back tall. Sometimes we might not get up, but that's okay. It's kind of fun to roll like a ball. But we're thinking tucking. That whole body is in nice and tight. I didn't make it that time or that time. Let's see if I can make it back up. Yay! Okay, one more time. See, it's fun. I don't really care if I make it up or not. I'm trying, but it's just fun to kind of roll around on the ground. That was 6, and we're gonna call it a day on rolling like a ball. But what I want everybody to do is roll down so that we can stretch. So what I want you to do, those feet are gonna be straight out. You're just gonna take a really slow roll down and let your head find the mat. Let's keep our right leg straight out right now, and we're gonna work on our left. So bring both hands to that bent knee, and right above the knee, you're just going to pull that left knee in towards your left shoulder or your chest, and you're just going to hold that for 30 seconds. We're thinking about just relaxing, and we're just squeezing that knee in towards our shoulder. So left knee into left shoulder. You're trying to stretch through the hip. And let's say we've got about 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna let that go just for a second, and we're gonna do the same thing again. So left knee to left shoulder. We're holding for 30 seconds. The rest of our body is relaxed. We're kind of trying to focus on relaxing our body around where that tension is in our hip, and just trying to let it go with each exhale breath. Let's say we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, let that go for a second, and let's bring this left knee towards our right shoulder this time. So you're kind of doing a little more pushing with that left hand and pulling with the right, so that you're getting into more of the side of the hip and in a little bit of a different spot. And again, we're holding for 30 seconds. You're breathing as you hold. This probably feels a little bit tighter than the first stretch that we did. Let's give ourselves 5 more seconds here. And relax that for a second, and we're going to do the same thing again. So left knee to right shoulder, so you're pressing with that left hand, pulling with the right to bring that knee to the shoulder. You find a spot that really works for you, and you just breathe and try to kind of relax around that stretch. Let that tension go, and give that hip, that IT band, some time to relax. We've got 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now, let that go just for a second, and we're going to bring our hands behind our left quad. So your hands are on your hamstring. My knee is currently bent, but what I want to do is straighten my leg up and pull my hands with this straight leg up towards my chest. Hold that, and then bend my knee to relax it. So you're going to reach that leg straight as you're pulling your hands towards your body. And you can see my hamstrings are super tight. And you're going to bend. So we're just straightening to stretch the hamstrings, and then bending the knee. And we're going to do 3 more. And bend. And 2. And bend. and 1, and bend. Now we're going to cross our left ankle over our right knee. We're going to actually lift the right knee up into a tabletop position, and we're going to bring our right hand behind the right quad or on the right hamstring, and our left hand is going to press into our left knee. So from this position, you could have your foot down and do the same thing, but for a lot of us, we're not going to get a stretch there. So you actually have to lift the right leg off and press that left knee away from you so that you're getting into, you can't really see the left side, but on the left side, we're getting into kind of this meaty area of the hip, a little bit of booty, the IT band. This is a figure 4 stretch, a variation of it. And we're just holding and breathing. We're going to put that right leg down, put the left leg down, stretch that out. Both legs are stretched out now. And what I want you to do is to actually point your left leg straight up into the air. And we're going to do hip circles. Now, normally with hip circles in mat Pilates, you're keeping your hips down and working just your hip. But what I want today for us to do is to think like really big, beautiful, stretchy circles. So you're going to just circle your leg around and let your hip go crazy. And just keep your hands flat on the ground to keep yourself grounded. We'll go 3 in one direction and then reverse and swing that leg around through the hip socket just to get some movement. Bring it back up. Put that foot down. Straighten that left leg out. Relax it because we're going to do the whole shebang on the right. So what that means is we're hugging our right knee in towards our chest, and it's right knee to right shoulder. This was our first stretch. We're holding it for 30 seconds. You're trying to relax around that tension. You're breathing. If you're outside like I am, you're listening to all the crazy sounds. You guys can probably hear my kids in the background being crazy people. But we're trying to tune all of that out as much as we can and just kind of let everything go. We're going to let that go, speaking of letting go, for a second. And again, pull the right knee towards the right shoulder and relax into that hip stretch. So this is a new side, new feeling. You may be a little tighter through this side than your left side. It just kind of depends. We usually tend to favor a side, but maybe you're one of those miraculous people who is perfectly balanced. I don't know. If you are, let me know and teach me your ways. Let's hold that for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now we're going to bring right knee to left shoulder. So that means we're kind of pushing with the right hand and pulling with the left. As we bring the knee towards our shoulder, we're relaxing around that stretch and just trying to release a lot of that tension. Breathing into it. And just letting all of that go. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Relax that just for a second. And again, one more time, right knee to left shoulder. Pushing with the right hand, pulling with the left. Trying to get into the side of the hip, the inside portion of the hip, just the whole thing. You may feel this a little bit across the back, but you want to take yourself to a point where you feel challenged in a stretch, but you don't ever want to cause yourself an excruciating amount of pain. The longer you hold a position, you can maybe feel like you can edge yourself closer and closer into a stretch, but don't force something that your body just doesn't want to give you right now. So we're going to let that go, and we're going to bring our leg kind of to a tabletop position. Our right knee is bent. Our hands are on that right hamstring, and what I want you to do is just straighten that right leg up, pull that straight leg towards you, and then bend your knee. So you're just straightening the leg and pulling, trying to stretch the hamstring. I try to feel like I'm stretching my heel up to the sky and bending the knee. So we're just bending and straightening for 6. This is 3 and 4. Again, you may notice this side is easier or harder. We're going to do one more time. And you are going to bend your knee and twist that leg so that your right ankle is above your left knee. That left leg is up kind of in that tabletop position. Your left hand is pulling your leg towards you, and your right is pressing your right knee away from you. And you're trying to stretch, again, into this IT band booty, that whole area that is really probably pretty tight on the majority of us. And let's hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to put all of that down, reach both legs along just for a second, and then stretch that right leg up into the air. Remember, we're going to do 3 big, huge hip circles in each direction. Your hips can flow with you. You're going to try to tune out your children who are screaming mommy in the background. And we're going to go 3 in the other direction. And 2. My hands are really my stability here. And 1. And put that down. Now, I kind of forget what we're going to do, so I'm going to consult my little thing. And we're going to roll over to our side, and we're going to go find that all fours position again that I feel like we've spent a lot of time in for class today. But what are you going to do? It's effective. So what I want us to do is what I call cat camel, or what a lot of us would know as cat cow. So what I want you to do is shoulders, elbows, wrists all lined up, knees and hips. Feet and shins are pressing towards the mat. Hands are pressing into the mat. You're going to arch your back, tuck your tail, and really get a big, nice arch. And then you're going to press your tail away and extend up through the chest. So you're going to scoop and arch. And you're going to extend away. So as we're scooping, we're trying to draw those abdominals up and in. And as we're extending, those shoulders are sliding down our back. Our sits bones are shining away from us. This is 4 on the arch or the camel. And the extend. And 5. We're going for 6, our magic number today. Shoulders in those back pockets. And one more time. And extend. Now we're going to hold this extended position and do what I call a tail wag. So what that means is you're going to still have those shoulders back and those sits bones shining away from you, but you're going to kind of think like you're a dog and shake your hips or shake that booty from side to side, like you're wagging your tail, like a very happy dog, but just in a really slow and meticulous way. Let's do 2 more on each side, and left, and right, and left. And then we're going to arch and do the same thing. So we will shoot those hips to the side, still in this arched position. We're going left with the hips and right. 3 more times left and right, finding that arch, and right, and 1 more time, and right. And we're going to find a neutral-ish position here. And what I want you to do is lift your right hand, and I actually want you to just thread it under and just reach towards the left side of your body. And then come back, and we're going to do that again. So you'll do this 6 times where you're just trying to thread this right hand through. Your left arm can bend. Your left arm could stay straight and you could just go here, but I like to bend and kind of bring my shoulder and the rest of my body through this threading process. You do whatever feels good. Let's do 1 more on this right side. Put that right hand down and we'll do 6 on the left. So this left hand is going to just thread through and back, and 5, and back. You're thinking about reaching kind of back towards and behind your opposite hip. So my left hand is reaching towards my right hip. And 3 more. And 2. And 1 more time. Beautiful. Let's find all 4s again. And we're going to do 1 more thing before we stand up. We're going to do some sternum drops. So what that means is normally when we're on all 4s, our shoulders are out of our ears. We're really engaged through our shoulder blades. What I want you to do is I want you to feel like your chest is dropping down towards the mat. So your shoulder blades are like really squeezing together. And then I want you to feel like as you press your hands into the mat, your shoulder blades are pulling apart. So you're gonna get those shoulder blades to squeeze, 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 squeeze together, and then pull apart. So squeeze those shoulder blades together and apart. And again, squeeze together and apart. You can bend your elbows or keep them straight, whichever feels better for you. But we're just trying to get some movement through those shoulder blades and through that thoracic area of our spine. Let's do 1 more, and then we're going to go into a standing position. All right, we are going to come back onto our feet. We are going to find the floor, straighten our legs, and slowly roll ourselves up. We're going to take a nice big inhale. We're going to exhale, dive towards the mat, and forward fold. Remember, your forward fold doesn't have to be all the way down. It really depends on how tight all of us are. But wherever you are, you're going to keep those legs as straight as you can. We're going to lift our left arm and rotate towards the left side. So open up out towards the left. And as you do that, I want you to bend the right knee. So you should feel a really strong stretch through your left hamstring. And we're just going to hold this for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come back to center. And we're going to open up towards the right this time. 2, for 1. Back to center, slight bend to our knees because we're going to roll up tall. Let's let the blood kind of return to its appropriate places. And we are going to do a few more things. So we're going to do quad stretch. We'll start with the right. So left foot's going to stay down. You're going to bend your right knee and put your right hand, put your right foot into your right hand. Now, as I talk, I'm having a hard time balancing. That's part of the challenge. So if you needed to, you could hold onto a wall or a chair or something. But what I want you to do is to press your right knee straight down, press your hips, both of them, forward, and really try to pull up on that right foot as best you can. You can also kind of press your right foot into your hand as well as you stretch that knee down. If this doesn't feel good on your knee, just do the stretch that feels the best and try to hold your balance. Speaking of balance, we can make this even more challenging by lifting that arm straight up into the air as you hold the quad stretch. And let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that down. And we'll do the other side. So right foot's going to stay down. Left knee is bent. Knee is pointing down towards the ground. And your left foot is in your left hand. Both hips are pointing forward. And you are stretching your quad. To challenge your balance, you can lift your hand. You can always find a wall, find a chair, find a person, or don't do any of it. Just get a good little quad stretch and hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and find the floor. Now, let's take a nice wide stance. We are almost finished. We're going to bend our knees and just kind of find a nice little wide squat position. Let's try to get our feet down. Try really hard. And just get a little stretch through our hips. Now what I want us to do is come pretty wide through that stance. And your hands are on the ground. But we're going to lean to the left. So you should feel a stretch through the inner thigh on the right. And then we're going to supportedly lean to the right and then switch back. I don't want you to hold in either extreme for more than just a beat. I just want you to go back and forth from side to side. You're relaxed through your neck and shoulders, and you're just stretching those inner thighs. Let's do 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. Come back to center. Slide those feet together. Slight bend to the knees. Roll up tall. And call it a day. Thank you guys. So we started with abs, blew through those pretty quickly, and then ended with some really good stretch. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.